women physically, so women are weaker than men, obviously. So we cannot, build houses because we are not strong enough. We don't have the physical strength. So we need to understand that it is up to us, women, how we accept help.
Canvas white and hues so bright. Each story told ignites the light. The power in our hands we see, to heal, to rise, to set hearts free. Shades of pink we paint.
More clarity. Okay, how are you?
I'm fine, and I'm very happy to see you
In
because
fact,
it.
I'm very much excited. I was truly overwhelmed when you told me, okay, you're ready to join me for an interview. It was so great to meet you and finally to be here on this channel. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Would you like to tell me something about the place that you live in? What is so charming about that to our viewers so that they feel like, okay, this is the place that our guests belong to? So anything special you want to tell us? Share your childhood or something related to the city. You're born in
Okay.
Budapest, right?
I'm not, no, I was born in Székesfehérvár, which is a city like 60 kilometers from Budapest. So it's not
Hmm.
very far away, but it is a different city. And I have never lived in Budapest, but I know the city quite well because it's not far away. And everything is in Budapest. Hi. And my daughters live in Budapest, so I
Hmm.
go there um, once a week, maybe.
Mhm.
And it is the capital city of Hungary, so it is a very nice town, and it is a very old town. It has been the capital for like 150 years. And before that, it was Székesfehérvár. So the town where I live now, that used to be the
Hmm.
coronation town of Hungary and the capital
Hmm.
city. So this is how partly I live in Budapest, but actually physically I don't, but I know a lot about Budapest. And since Hungary is not a very big country, Uh, we uh, we have a lot of things in Budapest only. So
Hmm.
cultural events are mainly
Hmm.
organized in Budapest. Shopping
Hmm.
centers, huge ones, are in Budapest,
Hmm. Hmm.
and different programs are organized in Budapest because you can reach Budapest within 2.5 hours from anywhere in the
Hmm.
country.
Okay, great. That's good to hear. Moving on to my next question. Uh, Siva, you told me that you are pursuing your PhD now, right? So
Yes.
is it challenging, like balancing everything? You have a job as well, right?
Yes.
So how is it? Is it challenging or easy? How do you feel like balancing your studies,
Uh,
your job, and family? You're a mother of three as well, like me. So how's it going?
it is a bit more challenging than I thought it would be. I actually have, apart from my English and Russian teacher's degree, I have two other degrees, and I thought that the PhD would be a kind of culmination of my professional life. And I'm working or I'm doing research regarding evaluation techniques and strategies. And if you remember, when I worked in
Then,
Jazan,
hmm.
then I recommended, or I was part of the team who introduced the oral exam for the department.
And we
Uh,
started rubrics, using rubrics for assessments for a speaking exam as well. Remember that? Yes.
exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
this is something that I work on, or I'm doing research on, because I wanted to change some of the rubrics and evaluation criteria, and I have one more year to go. So I need
Oh,
to publish and go to conferences and, of course, write my dissertation.
just how does family support you in all these? In what manner? Do you think they are cooperative enough to, or is it
Uh,
like too much for
the
you?
difference between us is that I am like 30 years older than you, so I don't have
Yeah,
my kids at home. So the
yeah,
only
that's true.
person who is supporting me is my husband, and
Oh,
uh,
that's changed the whole thing.
the kids, they have their own lives, and Donnie, our son, is still living with us, but he is 26, so he has his own life as well.
So
So I
it's not
don't
that
have
much
to
challenging.
manage. Yeah,
Only thing you have to
I don't
manage is your job and studies, right?
exactly. And my husband,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's a bit
But
easier for me.
in that, from here, I would like to move on to some cross-cultural questions because you have been here in Saudi Arabia as well. You taught in Jazan. So, do you find, like, in what manner it was different for you? It's a cultural shock for all of us, definitely, when we move on to another country. So, was it so difficult for you to teaching in Hungary, then moving on to Jazan and acclimatizing with the weather, with the culture, as well as with the teaching standards and the students' expectation, which is, it's entirely different as compared to other students and belonging to different countries. So how's it
Uh,
for you? I know it's
um,
been more than 10 years, but it was.
I can still remember, and it was a very exciting and very motivating experience for me. So I loved being in Jazan. I loved meeting new people, the new culture, and I still remember it as a very motivating part of my life. So um, I remember almost everything about it as something good that helped me with my personality, helped me with I don't know, making friends, learning about people.
Remember, did you remember the very first compliment that you received in Jazan?
I don't. Well,
You,
from you, it was that I look like I cannot recall the name of the actress.
Jamie Murray.
Demi Moore, yes. That was your compliment, the very first one, and I had never ever thought about that before.
Now you believe, like you remember? After
Hmm?
that, you started looking up to, okay, and did you ever try to identify yourself with the picture of Demi Moore? Have you ever tried?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
you did.
yes.
Okay. You know, as the channel is focusing on feminism, so idea is not to discuss feminism in a way that is a bias to women. Rather, it is an unbiased approach to understand whether it is interpreted correctly in a modern context or the modern generation is interpreting feminism properly or not. And the most important thing, the legacy of feminism we have, because we know 18th century, we know that how women has fought and struggled for the rights of equality, for the rights for votes, and for the rights for my body, my choice. There were so many things that they have still struggled for. That legacy, if we come down to the modern age, the modern world, do you really think are we complementing? Are we aware? Are we complementing those women?
Um, I'm afraid it was a very long question, and I'm not sure that I understand what you would like to ask. So,
Okay,
feminism,
I would like
yes.
to listen. What I want to understand from you to, okay, let's start with the, in a way that, how do you take feminism? How do you understand feminism?
Uh, for me, feminism is accepting uh, us women as important parts of the society. So we should have exactly the same rights as men have. But I think that women physically, so women are weaker than men, obviously. So we cannot, build houses because we are not strong enough. We don't have the physical strength. So we need to understand that it is up to us, women, how we accept help from men.
Good, great.
So
So,
there,
yes,
so
please continue.
as to everything, there are two sides. So women need to understand that we cannot do, we are not physically able to do everything. And men need to understand that there are things that they cannot do, not because they are not strong enough, but because they have different qualities, they have different understanding of things. So there should be a balance in our lives, in each and every culture, because we have different names, but there are women, there are men, and we should keep the balance, and we should
Balancing.
accept.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, when I talk about my country, it's been very challenging. It's a struggle for a woman to make sure that they have been identified. So they struggle a lot, each and everything, when it comes to their identity as a career woman, or when it comes to their identity about their as a decision maker, any part, even the smallest thing, what they are going to wear or the choices that they are making,
Mhm.
each and everything has been like they are looking for validation, looking for approval from men, in the form of a husband and the form of a father. And now, the moment I have, like, till now, there comes a change or shift where in reversal, or you can say in reaction to that, women have become more dominating now and dominating in the name of feminism. Uh, we talk about Europe. Do you think it's been challenging for you as well for every moment there in Europe also? Is it so much challenging as compared to Asian countries, India, Pakistan? Do you have the same level of struggle? Just like if I
Um,
have to, a small family, they don't allow for higher studies, going for a job, like going for like a job abroad, like I am doing.
mhm,
For me, it was okay because my father allowed me. You can go
mhm,
for it. But as compared to my cousins, they were not allowed. There was, no,
mhm.
you cannot. You are not allowed. Go get married and settle yours. So these are the restrictions that we have. So percentage of people who are actually supporting it's almost like very insignificant. Europe will face the same challenges. Or what are the other challenges that you face as a European woman, I would say, or as a Hungarian woman? Can you just think about that?
It is interesting because I um, I talked to my grandmother, who was born at the beginning of the 19th century. In 1921, she was born. And then, which was like 100 years ago, in
Yes,
Hungary, they struggled the same way. So she was not allowed to study. She couldn't complete her secondary studies because it was not usual for a woman to complete secondary studies. So elementary studies, okay, but she completed her secondary studies when she got married, after she got married in evening school or an evening program. So it was not as general as it is now. Now, I don't think that there are parts of Hungary. I don't know about other European countries, so I don't know about Bulgaria or Romania, whether they have these limits or not. But in Hungary, everybody can study, no matter whether they are male or female.
okay.
And it doesn't
So,
depend on the family or the father's decision. But
hmm,
at the beginning of the last century, there
hmm,
were occasions when it depended on the family, where they lived, and what the parents allowed their daughters
so
to
that's
do.
a positive shift. That's a positive
Yeah.
shift. Okay. That brings me to my second question is uh, if women is completely free, do you believe that are they really aligned with their culture? Are they really uh, like living a positive life, proper life, which they are not crossing any boundaries? Do they think they should be disciplined or sort of limits they should maintain with their freedom as well, or are they just free? Because there is a very thin difference between freedom and wilderness, you know. And when you go beyond arm free, concept of my body, my choice, I can do anything with myself. Do you think the women are like they are following some code of conduct, or they are good to go, or they are just not aware about it?
Um, I'm sure that there are some limits, definitely, but because of the political changes in Hungary nowadays, I don't think that it is going the right direction. So, in the government, for example, there are no women now.
Hmm,
Not a single woman is in the government in Hungary, and they are trying. I know that they are trying to increase the number of kids and birth
hmm,
with different programs, and if you have 3 or 4 kids, then you don't need to pay a tax, and so different
hmm,
programs.
hmm,
But they are, for example, like 20 years ago, you had to see a committee if you wanted an abortion, and now it has been made a lot more difficult, and you are not allowed to have an abortion no matter what
hmm,
after the 12th week, for
hmm,
example. So
hmm,
it is against our rights, I think, because there are situations, and I'm not saying that, you get up and you go on an abortion and you want to take your baby, but there
hmm,
are situations, and our political life is not considering that nowadays, and this is going the wrong direction, I think.
hmm.
For
Right.
example, this one.
Hmm. Thank you. And yes, as I was telling you that I was discussing about, I think I mentioned. A book by Jeremy Greer, an Australian writer. She wrote A Female Eunuch. Female eunuch is where Greer discusses women as she is being suppressed emotionally and sexually
Mhm.
by men. She is very much similar. She is living the life of a eunuch. So Greer believes that modern women, even though they are trying to free themselves, but still they are like that. Sometimes society is suppressing them emotionally or sexually when they want to open themselves up. Times they do it by themselves just to avoid confrontation, to save relationships, and just, just to let it go for the sake of love as well. Um, do you think as a woman, have you ever been through these things? Have you ever witnessed in your life or people around you that women are really emotionally suppressing themselves? Does it happen? Have you ever been through it?
It does.
It
I,
does.
I think it does happen. Um, as you said, emotionally mostly, or socially, just to avoid conflict, I would say, to save situations, or um, to save relationships sometimes, for for the sake of kids maybe, or families. But every coin has two sides. So we always need to consider everything to be able to decide whether it was a good step or a good decision or not. So I have never felt that it was a waste of time, or a waste of energy to to save a situation or to avoid a conflict and be kind of emotionally suppressed for that. So I
Mm.
never felt that as a, how to put that, a negative
Okay.
feeling. So
Okay.
I don't I don't I have never experienced that as a negative feeling.
Mm.
I
Mm.
know that I sometimes
Mm.
uh, say yes or say no just for the
Mm.
sake of the family or for the others. And I don't, emotionally, in my heart, I don't think that is the right decision. But for the sake of the others, I sometimes say so.
I think that women put more efforts as compared to men into relationship, save the relationship.
Yes.
So it is universal.
Yeah,
Is it
I guess
universal?
so. Yes.
Yeah, got
Yes.
it. Okay. I was discussing in one of my episodes that if we are talking about being a free woman, we need to aware about the choices that we are making, choices which are aligned with our values, with our belief, whatever
Mhm.
belief you're like, religious belief or a cultural belief that you follow. Uh, in general, globally, if we talk about you and I, uh, what sensible choices do you think that a woman should take? Like, or a girl going into women and leading their life, what are the things that something she should not compromise with? What would you suggest?
Oh my, it's a very difficult question. I think we need to keep in mind that we cannot change anybody, just ourselves. So we need to make decisions that fulfill our um, goals or our dreams, because these are the ones that we can follow. So we can um, keep those. So we can follow the route if we make a decision and we keep in mind our own thoughts and feelings and emotions, then we can follow that route. But if we make a decision to make somebody else happy, then we won't be able to follow that route for
Mm,
a long time.
mm. Okay, and now here, my question goes to like if to our viewers, if you want to suggest, especially to the women and to the girls, especially the teenagers, what is one particular message that you will give just to being a strong woman? How do we define a strong woman? How to be a strong woman, making choices in life, making a good decision in life?
Um,
Any advice? Any advice?
um, on Facebook, I have on my background, I have a message. If you want to be happy, then be. Because it is, I think it is up to us how we feel. So if we get up and we say that, okay, I will enjoy today, I will enjoy this or that, or I look forward, for example, to talking to you, then it is a happy day. It's going to be a happy day. Of course, there are circumstances from outside that we cannot influence, but basically, it is up to us how we feel. So that is one of the messages that I tell my students as well. If you want to be happy, then be. And do everything to make yourself happy.
Happy. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Eva, and it was a pleasure talking to you. I think this would be the end of our interview. We can be a little casual now, no problem. I will introduce my kids to you. Sean, come here. Say hello to us. Eva, can you listen?
Can I
Hello.
see you? Yeah, now I can. Hi.
Hello, come on. Your is Sean. He's 6.
He
A
is
little.
Sean. He is 6.
Hmm, hmm.
And where
And
is Insha?
Isha's coming. Isha? Isha? Isha and Jerry? They're coming. They were sitting. Actually, there's this holiday, so during summer I didn't go back to India. So I was here. I was working on my channel. So I said I need some time. So when I go to India, I will be busy with relatives. Jerry, say hello. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
And both of
And
them, they don't speak Hindi, they don't speak Urdu, they speak only English. I don't know how
English.
it
Okay.
happened. So they're like me. And finally, Isha,
Insha.
she's
Hi.
remember?
I don't think so. She was a baby.
She was a baby. She was a baby.
Yes, she was a baby.
Now she's
And
taller
I
than
will send you. She's taller than you. And how old are you, Insha?
older. She's 20, huh? Yeah, it's gonna be 12. It's going to be 12 this October.
12 this October. Wow.
Yes.
Already. Oh my goodness.
One
I
is
will
one
send
is
you a
going.
photo. I don't know whether you have the photo of Insha and me, but I was looking through the photos and
Okay.
I will
I
send
have
it to you.
sure, sure, please. And I have your photo when you came on Isha's first birthday, so we have some of the photos. I think I have on Facebook as well. So these are the
Mhm.
wonderful memories we have.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
thank you so much for being with me. It was you're too busy. You just made your time for me.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you
I'm
so
happy
much.
that we could talk, and I hope that I gave you answers that you can work with.
That's perfectly all right. It's something that, it was not about answers. It's all about your opinion. How do you think? How you have experienced as a woman, the circumstances, the situations that you are going through, the phases of your life. So I just wanted to share with my viewers the real women with the
A
real
canvas
stories.
white
So this is what it is. Otherwise, it would be a scripted interview. So I didn't want to make any scripted. Okay, I'll see you around then. Thank you so much. I will see you.
You're
Right.
welcome. Thank
And
you.
I will
To heal, to rise, to set hearts